Hey everyone, and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got a breaking news report coming out from NATO, and I've got a story that I'd like to share with all of you guys regarding a NATO commander coming out today with a major threatening statement over to Russia, warning Russia that if they ever decide to attack a NATO alliance member, NATO forces could move to seize the Kaliningrad region of Russia very quickly. That's right next to the Baltic nations. Take a look at this report here on your screen. NATO threatens to seize Russia's Kaliningrad region if Russia attacks. NATO forces could capture Russia's heavily fortified Kaliningrad Oblast in a time frame that is unheard of if necessary. U.S. Army Europe and Africa Commander General Chris Donahue said. So this is a picture of Chris Donahue today. So he's a NATO commander coming out and warning Russia not to attack a NATO alliance member. This is something we've been talking about for a very long time now. NATO's been warning that Russia may launch some sort of large-scale attack, maybe onto some of the Baltic nations. And he's coming out saying that if Russia tries to attack a NATO member, they will seize Kaliningrad and very fast. Apparently, they have a plan to do this at lightning speed. So I'm going to show you a report today. We're going to talk more about this. Let's hop on over here to RBC Ukraine. NATO unveils lightning fast Kaliningrad neutralization plan should Russia attack. This is coming out today, July 17th, 2025. So we're going to briefly go over this report. Then we're going to hop on over to X, and I have a map that I can kind of show you guys in case you're not familiar with where Kaliningrad is located. So it says here, NATO allies have developed a plan to neutralize the Kaliningrad region. Modern weaponry will allow it to be done faster than ever before, said General Christopher Donahue, commander of the U.S. Army in Europe and Africa and commander of NATO's land forces, as reported by Defense News. According to Donahue, the United States and its NATO allies are launching the implementation of the Eastern Flank Deterrence Line plan. It is aimed at strengthening ground-based capabilities and enhancing interoperability across the alliance's defense industries. The plan is designed to counter threats from Russia and ensure scalable global deterrence. We know what we have to develop, and the use case that we're using is you have to deter from the ground. The land domain is not becoming less important, it's becoming more important. You can now take down anti-access and aerial denial, A2AD bubbles from the ground. You can now take over sea from the ground. All of those things we are watching happening in Ukraine. The general clarified that it talks about the neutralization of Kaliningrad region, and it says here, Donahue cited Russia's Kaliningrad region as an example, noting that it is surrounded on all sides by NATO countries. According to him, NATO forces have now have the capability to take that down from the ground in a time frame that is unheard of and faster than we've ever been able to do. We've already planned that and we've already developed it, he said. The mass and momentum problem that Russia poses to us, we've developed the capability to make sure that we can stop that mass and momentum problem. So yeah, they're claiming that this plan that they have to take over Kaliningrad would happen very quickly and faster than probably Russia would expect. And we know that the Russian Kaliningrad region is heavily fortified, as is completely surrounded by NATO and the Baltic Sea. So it's a part of Russia that's completely isolated, cut off from the mainland of Russia, right next to Belarus, Poland, and some of the Baltic nations. So I'll show you guys here in just a moment. It also says what else NATO's plan includes. The plan also includes a data sharing system. NATO has already acquired such a system, Donahue noted, referring to Palantir's Maven Smart System, an artificial intelligence platform capable of processing massive amounts of data to help military commanders make fast, informed decisions. The general has also added that NATO wants all systems, whether air defense or long-range fires, to be optionally manned. We want it to be one system, optionally manned, where we'll be able to take munitions from any country and shoot through them, he said. Additionally, NATO's army aims to lower the cost of weapons. And it says, quote, as a general rule, whatever you're shooting at, whatever your weapon system or munition you shoot at, another adversary's capability, it should be cheaper than what you're shooting, Donahue emphasized. Finally, it talks about the threat of a Russian attack on NATO, and it says NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte previously warned that Russia could be ready to launch an attack on the North Atlantic Alliance within the next 5 years. Rutte emphasized that Russia's weapons production is progressing at a faster pace than Western countries anticipated. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of talk about the threat of a Russian attack on NATO. This is something that's been discussed for well over a year now. And some top military analysts believe that Russia may attack as soon as like 2028, 2029, or maybe as late as like 2030. So, literally, in the next 3 to 5 years, we could see a major war between NATO and Russia. And it looks like NATO has a plan to seize Russia's Kaliningrad region if they happen to try to launch an attack onto a NATO alliance member. So now we're going to jump on over to X real quick. I've got a map here pulled up. This is from Vanguard Intel Group, and they've got some information here regarding this article that we just went over. Here's a picture of Chris Donahue right here, that NATO allied commander. We've got a map that I want to show you guys just in case you're not familiar with where Kaliningrad is located. So we've got Poland right here. Here's Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. There's the Baltic Sea. This would be Sweden over here. And in between Poland and Lithuania is where Kaliningrad is, okay? This is just a tiny piece of land. It's not very large at all. The Russians control it. And this is also where we see a lot of GPS jamming in this area. There was actually a report that just came out recently that if any planes happen to like crash into each other or cause some sort of, accident with aircraft that are flying over Kaliningrad, that it could possibly be considered an attack on NATO, considering the fact that Kaliningrad is doing a lot of GPS jamming in this area right now, and this has been going on for well over a year now as well. So you can see it's not too far away from Belarus. Here's mainland Russia over here. Then we have the Suwalki Gap right here in between Poland and Lithuania that separates Kaliningrad from Belarus, and this is an area that has been talked about a lot that's vulnerable to attack, considering that the Russians may want to try to reconnect Kaliningrad through Belarus to the Russian Federation. So just in case you guys weren't aware where exactly Kaliningrad is located at, this is what they're talking about here, and they may try to seize it if Russia tries to launch an attack, most likely on one of these Baltic nations, maybe even Finland, considering they're right on the border with Russia. So I want to thank you guys very much for being here for this update, and let me know what you think about all these details down below in the comment section. But that's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.